Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Glad to have you here today. Sorry, appear like I'm a little distracted. I'm just trying to get this pulled up and shared out so we can have more people joining us this morning. And here we go. Good morning, Chainbreakers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, I'm Brad Smith. I am your host for Chainbreakers 365 and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise. I want to welcome you in here today. This is going to be another fantastic day. It is Friday, October the 25th, 2019. And I am so looking forward to today and for this weekend. Good morning, Laura. Glad to have you in here. Morning, Mike. Morning, Jeremy. Glad you're all here today. One of the reasons I'm looking forward to this today and this weekend is my youngest daughter is being baptized this weekend. So yeah, that's a big deal, and I'm looking forward to being able to participate in that. Good morning, Matt. Good to see you this morning. So, but what I want to try and get into and talk about a little bit this morning, good morning, Aiden, is what are the challenges that you face in life? I have had to take some very serious looks over the last week, 10 days at my faith. I am participating in Glenn Lundy and Danelle Delgado's Grow Your Business for God's Sake masterclass. And last week, one of the things that Danelle said is that your faith in God will not exceed your faith in yourself. And I thought a lot about that. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Janine. Glad you're here. I've thought a lot about that over the last week and a half, because I've always thought I had a very, very strong faith in God. And I thought I had a pretty strong sense in myself. But I frequently have been here. Good morning, Patty. Hi, honey. Glad you're joining me from upstairs. I've had to kind of take a look, because one of the things I frequently found was that I sat here and questioned whether I was always misinterpreting what God's plan for me is. And it made me kind of wonder where that really kind of was in my life, because at some point, was that part of my faith? Why wasn't I hearing it clear? I know God is capable. Whether he was doing that or not in my life is where I began to question, because I questioned whether I really understood what God's plan was for me. So I had to take some serious looks at that, and that's where my challenge came up. You see, one of the things I've talked about, and you've probably heard me talk about it here, is from the parable of the talents, and Glenn talked about that last night as well. And I've taught on that. See, God has a plan for each and every one of us in our lives, and into us, he pours the talents, as you were, even though in that case, talent was a monetary exchange, but it's no mistake that the word talent is used in that, because he pours into us the talents that we need to be able to fulfill the calling he has on our lives. But at the same time, while God has a plan for us, so does the enemy. And the enemy's plan is to thwart God's plan. So what a better way to thwart God's plan than to make us question ourselves, question whether we're capable, whether that's really for us, whether we're too tall, we're too short, we're too young, we're too old, we're not smart enough, we're not from the right family, we're not whatever it is for you, right? But for me, it was questioning where God's plan really was. Was I questioning God's plan for me? I don't know that I was questioning his overall calling for me, but I certainly questioned where he was showing up in my life. So I was having to dig into that a lot. I was having to take a strong look at that and what that really meant in my life, because one of the things I found is I started digging more and more and more through scripture, and it was forcing me to dig back in because Danelle wanted us to grab a scripture that leapt out with an aha moment for us. I was digging in a lot, and one of the things that I ran into, and I believe it was from John, and was talking about the shepherd's gate, and Jesus claimed himself at that point to be the gate. But in that, it was the sheep know the shepherd by his voice. Well, if Christ is the shepherd and I am one of his sheep, I was not understanding where God's voice was in all this. So at that point, was I questioning God? Was I truly listening to what he had to tell? Was I truly following what his calling for me was? Because I was questioning. Was that where my doubt was? Or was that where my lack of belief was? Was that where I was being limited? Amazing, because as I started pushing through that, there's a lot of things that started changing in my life. Things started becoming a lot more clear, and yes, there was scripture that leapt off the page for me. So my question to you today is, what is your limitation? Where were you limiting yourself in the calling that you have on your life, in what your purpose in life is? Do you know what your purpose in life is? Are you listening to that message? So a lot of people go, I don't know what the calling is for me. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what his intent or his plan is. If you have that dream, that thought, that aching, repeating story again and again and again of where you should be, or what a dream of what you have or want in your life, that is where your calling is. That's the way God's speaking to you in pouring into you and building up what that is within you and within your life. So where is that for you? What is that dream that will not go away, that keeps coming back again and again and again? Is it there in your life? Have you had that purpose keep calling back, a vision you keep seeing? Whether it's in your home, whether it's in your friends, whether it's in your community, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your career, what is it that keeps calling to you? What it is that you've got this deep desire that will not be quenched, that you keep coming back around to again and again and again? What is that for you in your life? So for me, and Glenn asked last night for us to look not only at what our business is, but what our mission is. My mission for me is to transform the automotive industry, to become so different that we shred off everything it is that has been known about the car business, what I've had poured into me for over 30 plus years. What is it in the car business that consumers hate, that they don't like, and they don't trust car dealers? Getting rid of that and start becoming a place where people enjoy doing business, where they enjoy coming to, that they don't dread the visit to the car dealership more than what they dread that visit to the dentist, right? That we start becoming who it is that our consumers want us to be, selling cars the way they want to buy them. It is a transformation, a mindset, a culture change, not only within a given business, but within the entire industry. Yes, that's where my calling is. So at one time, I thought it was in the dealerships that I ran, and that wasn't. And I saw it in a larger influence in areas that I was going into and pouring into and changing. But that still wasn't it, because it wasn't tapping, even though I had greater influence, I at that point wasn't tapping into the culture change of the industry. I think I'm in the right place now. Right now, I'm at the fork of two different roads, and it may be a little bit of two different ways that I'm doing it at the same time, but I think I know what that is. And I'm going to be working on that over the next couple of weeks, where real direction for me will be pouring out. And with that, I'll know exactly where I'm going with it. But what is your mission in life? What is it that is your call, or you die? The very end of your life, you can look back and look on memories that you can say, and I really, I called out to do. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit to take a look at that. One of the things we talked about yesterday, and we started off a 5-week chain break challenge into take one thing each week for the next 5 weeks, one different thing each week for the next 5 weeks, running Thursday through Wednesday, and use the hashtag Chainbreakers Challenge. Post here in Chainbreakers 365 what it is that you did. Where did you step out of your comfort zone? Where did you do something that previously was uncomfortable for you? And my first one ended up having to change because of somebody else's schedule. It's now set for next Thursday, which is the beginning of week 2. So I'm still working. I'm still working on what my challenge is for this week. So what is that challenge for you? Where are you going to step out of your comfort zone? Where are you going to try something new, something different, something that has been difficult for you? Maybe it's kind of going in and apologizing to somebody where you've had a broken relationship, where your friendship has fallen apart. Maybe it's not in rebuilding the relationship, but simply going back and correcting where the wrong was. Maybe it's if you're single, maybe it's in asking out that person that you've been afraid to ask out. Maybe it's in your career, having a difficult conversation that you've resisted with your boss because you've been afraid of that rejection. You've been afraid of the conversation, the result. But it's stepping out and doing something that's uncomfortable for you. Maybe it's because this is Halloween season. If you've been afraid to go to haunted houses or go to watch a scary movie or do whatever, maybe it's stepping into that, stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping into something that frightens you. Maybe it's in reaching out to a family member that you've lost track of and rebuilding that relationship. Whatever it is for you, step out of your comfort zone and break through. Take a picture, make a post, put it here in Chainbreakers 365. Use that hashtag Chainbreakers Challenge. And for the next 5 weeks, one challenge each week for you, what you're going to do to step out of your comfort zone. And the reason, again, that it's going to conclude the day before Thanksgiving is I want you to look back on Thanksgiving Day over the previous 5 weeks and realize how much you've grown, how far you've come, how much you've changed, and take gratitude in that. Give thanks for that on Thanksgiving Day. So if you're with me, I hope you are. Join us for Chainbreakers Challenge and step out of your comfort zone. Do something a little different. Do something new for you. If you're in the automotive business, by the way, join me tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Eastern on Brad Smith, the original Car Smith, for the Saturday morning sales meeting. So that's part of my going into one of the branches off and changing the automotive industry. But join me tomorrow there for the Saturday morning sales meeting, and I'll look forward to doing that. If you enjoyed this video or many of the other videos we do here on Chainbreakers 365, you can always find us here Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. You can watch us live or in replay. You can go to chainbreakers365.com where you'll find this library of videos, or you can go to YouTube at Chainbreakers 365. I've got a channel there. Go in and subscribe to my channel, and you can watch those entire videos there. But again, the best way to catch us is right here live, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time for Chainbreakers 365. Thanks a lot, my friends. I absolutely love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Glad to have you here. We'll see you on Monday. Have an awesome, amazing weekend. Bye now.